A 16th century storehouse housing distinctive spiked helmets and weapons intended for elite soldiers has been discovered in Zvenigorod, a town west of Moscow. The helmets were found stored in leather boxes along with sabers, belts, and arrows, intended for use by a powerful group of Russian soldiers, believed to have been handpicked by Ivan the Terrible. The fearsome ruler Ivan Vasilevich was the Grand Prince of Moscow from 1533 to 1547 and Tsar of all the Russias from 1547 until his death in 1584. His long reign saw the conquest of regions such as Astrakhan on the Caspian Sea and Siberia, turning Russia into an empire covering more than 1 billion acres, 1,562,500 square miles or 4,046,856 square km. Ivan the Terrible's arsenal. The storehouse was found by the Institute of Archaeology of the Russian Academy of Sciences. It would have been in a basement of a mansion that belonged to an aristocratic family. The room was forgotten after the Grand Development burnt down in the 17th century, which means the weapons and helmets were never used and are in incredible condition. A member of the family was part of Ivan the Terrible's hand-picked 1,000 soldiers who were boyars, or aristocrats, in the Tsar's army. The room, thought to be a private arsenal, included a cache of weapons which would have been intended for a military expedition. This perhaps explains why many were found in boxes, alongside tents. Other finds include the helmets in leather cases, chainmail fragments, swords with sheaths, and fighting belts. Who was Tsar of all Russia's Ivan the Terrible? Ivan Vasilevich, known as Ivan the Terrible, was Grand Prince of Moscow from 1533 to 1547 and Tsar of all the Russias from 1547 until his death in 1584. During his long reign, Russia expanded from a state to an empire, taking in vast regions such as Siberia. Ivan the Terrible was the first ruler to be crowned Tsar of all Russias and was a fearsome leader, hence his name. He gave aristocrats substantial military power, creating the hand-picked 1,000, but also had a reputation for cruelty towards the upper classes. For example, in the massacre of Novgorod, that lasted 5 weeks, Ivan sent the Oprichnina, a secret police set up to execute and confiscate the property of disobedient nobles, to plunder and terrorize villages under certain aristocrats' control. Historical sources describe a complex personality, an intelligent and devout man who was given to fits of rage, resulting in the killing of his chosen heir, Ivan Ivanovich, for example. Historians have long debated Ivan the Terrible's impact on Russia. He made changes to Russia's governmental structure, including the creation of the Oprichnina, which diminished the power of the boyars to create a more centralized government, while securing a stable autocracy. Acquiring territory boosted Russia's power and trade with Europe, but led to future wars, such as a conflict with Turkey. His love of architecture and literature added to Russia's cultural heritage, but his economic legacy is generally thought to have been a disaster. The Tsar raised taxes to cover military costs, but drained the country of men and resources in his quest for expansion, leading to the time of troubles, which included a famine that killed a third of the population, some 2 million people.